Hello everyone, this is Amarpreet Singh and today we are here to discuss about Power BI Desktop. We'll try to create a simple report using Power BI Desktop and see the flow, how data is imported in Power BI Desktop and how the visualizations are created. First step, let's just begin. Initially we need to download Power BI Desktop, which is available for free, and you can go to this website of Microsoft and you can download this Power BI Desktop from here. So I've already installed it in my system, so I'll directly open Power BI Desktop in my system, and this is how I open it. Meanwhile this opens, let's just see the data set which we are going to import into our desktop and make a report on. So we have this COVID-19 data available. As you can see, there are various details available: the country-wise total cases of coronavirus, the total deaths in each country date-wise. So we're going to import this into our Power BI Desktop and try to create a report on this. So let's head to Power BI Desktop now, and initially I would like to create you can try a free account here rather than signing in. In case you want to sign in, you can give your email ID, but in case you want to share your reports with someone, so you need to have a domain email ID or maybe any corporate email ID. So right now we'll be just going up with free version, so I'll just directly try the free version. You can just enter your email here and sign up and you'll get started. So right now I'm already signed in, so I'll just directly go to my get data tab here to reach the Power BI Desktop, and it's already launched here. And yeah, so let's just see the layout of this Power BI Desktop window. So you can see there is a blank space in the middle. So this is where our visualizations are going to be put in. The data is going to be put in. On the left, you see there are three things. One is called report. There's another one called data, and there's another one called model. So we have three different views available. One is called report view, which we are seeing right now. Then we have a data view. So once we have the data, we'll have some data here. And there's another view called modeling. So we'll come out to that later on. So right now, you can see this, and on top we have various options for pulling data from Excel, Power BI datasets, etc. And you can even transform data and do various things. On the right, you are seeing this visualizations area. So there are different types of visualizations available. You have bar charts, you have area charts, you have pie charts, etc. And finally, we have something called fields on the right. So this is where all our fields will pop up once we import the data. So let's go and import the Excel file. So I'm clicking on get data on top, and I see various options available. You can import from SQL Server, you can import from Power BI datasets, text files, CSV files, web, etc. So we'll just go ahead with Excel here. So I click on Excel, and this is a file we want to import. So I'll just select it. And we'll just select the sheet, and we can see the data here in the preview. So this is how it looks like. So there are a couple of options here. We can directly load the data into our desktop, or we can transform the data and then load it. So in this case, I feel maybe we should transform a bit. So I'll just go to transform data, and it will open the query editor. So query editor is a place where you can perform various changes, like if you want to change the data types of any of the columns, you want to remove few rows, you want to add few rows, you can add columns in this. You can perform various transformations and do things here. So right now a different window pops up saying Power Query Editor, and you can see that automatically the Power BI Desktop has categorized different columns into different data types. But there is an issue. the first row is not the column names which we want. So we want the first data row to be the headings. So let's just go here. We have this use first row as headers. So let's just implement this. And once we click on this, you see that the first row has become headers. And as you see, it has automatically detected date rep as a date column, day as a numerical column, month as a numerical column, year as a numerical column, and there are various things available. So now we see that we have a country, we have country code, we have geo. So in case we want to remove any columns, we can just directly, maybe we don't want this column, so we just select this, we can right click and we can say remove. So the column would be removed. And similarly, if you want to change the data type, maybe say let's want to change this year data type to text maybe. So let's just select this, and here we have data type as whole number. So just open it and select data type as text. So just notice on the right side here, whatever steps we are applying, the same steps get noted down here. So we remove the columns, we change the data type, and we are performing whatever things get noted here. So this looks fine to me. Another thing I would like to do is, I see that there are so many countries data available. So for our convenience, let's just try to reduce the number of countries. Maybe let's select few countries. So I can go and filter the data based on country. Suppose I just want data for Afghanistan. I want data for India. I want data for China. I want data for United States. I want it for Canada. I want it for Italy, Spain, and Australia. So we have filtered data based on these countries now, and I think it's good enough. Let's just close and apply. So on the left you can see there is this thing called close and apply. We can click on it and select close and apply. So our transformations would be applied and the data would be loaded into our Power BI desktop. Based on the data size, it can take some time, but usually if the data size is small, it won't take long. And now you can see that under the fields option, we have various columns available. And this the symbol for summation. So this indicates it's a numerical value, and we can perform aggregations on this, or there are already aggregated values available for this. And the other ones are dimensions or maybe text values. So let's try to create a simple report initially. So we can just click on this white area and maybe select country first. You can just select country from the fields. Now if you notice, what's happening here is right now it has detected country as a geographical column. So it has plotted a map to point out all the countries which we had selected. So in case we don't want a map right now, so we'll just go with a simple table. So there is a visualization for table. So I've selected table here. Sorry, you just need to, I'm just deleting this new tab which is created. You just need to select the map and then select table. So now you see that the map got changed into a table with the list of countries. And suppose we want to see total number of cases per these countries. So I can just, in this table itself, I can go and drag the cases column. So now you see based on countries, it has provided all the number of cases. This is fine. Suppose if I want to check it on some type of a graph. So maybe I can create a bar graph here, or maybe a column chart. This is a column chart. So you can see now that based on countries, we have various counts available. So United States has seen almost close to 1 million cases. Similarly, Italy has around 2 lakh cases. So it's a good way to depict using a bar or stack column chart. Okay, this is fine. In case we want to apply some filters based on continents. Suppose we want to see data based on continents. So there's another small thing called slicer. This is another visualization. So I'm just dragging slicer, or in fact I can just click on slicer. Sorry. Yeah, just click somewhere outside on the white window and then click on slicer. And in this slicer you can add continent. Now you see you'll get this option here, so you can select whichever continent you want to see data for. I want to see for Asia, so I'll select Asia. So you can see that other graph also gets filtered based on Asia. So I'm seeing only Asian countries, China, India and Afghanistan. So it's data only for these three countries. So we can select for Europe, so I can see only for Italy and Spain. You can modify the sizes of the graphs based on your requirements. So in case you want a bigger graph for this, you can have it here, and you can increase the size of slicers as well. So I want to check for America. I'm able to see the counts for America. Let's just add another thing called, there's a small thing called card. So I'll just click card, and in the cards I want to see the total number of cases. So I'll just select cases. So now you see in America, as it's filtered on America, we have around 1 million cases. So it's just a simple card which depicts the total value. So I'll just bring it here. So if I select Asia, so in Asia we have around 115k cases, and similarly if we select Oceania, so we have around 6,700 cases in Oceania. Okay, so let's just create another graph, maybe showing total number of deaths which have happened in various countries. So maybe we can create another table here and bring it on the side. We can point in the countries. Sorry. Just select the visual and then add country in that. And remove all the slicer filters. Yeah. And just add on total number of deaths. So I can see the count here. So maybe I can use different visualization for this. This is called funnel chart. So I click on funnel. So you see based on the number of deaths, we see them in descending order. US has got the most deaths, and so Italy, Spain, China, Canada, and going on. You can try different visualizations here. You can go for, there's another thing called a tree map. So this just gives a rectangular boxes based on the size of the numerical value. So US has got most deaths and Canada has got little less. So you can see there are various visualizations available. You can vary the size of this visualization depending on your requirement. So let's just settle down with a funnel chart here at the moment. Suppose we want to see, or we want to compare different countries for same time period. So in that case we can go and modify the first visualization which we created, cases by country, and maybe if we want to check based on monthly data, yearly data. So let's just add another slicer for year first. So I'm just removing or let it be here. I'm just dragging this here. I'm just creating another slicer for country, for year. Adding year in this. So I want to check for 2020. So data gets filtered based on 2020. And I want to check for various months. And let's try to change it to a stack maybe line chart. So right now we can only see the counts based on countries. I want to change it. Maybe on the axis I want country. In fact, I would replace country with month and get country in the legend. Yeah. So now if you see, if I filter on Asia, so this just gives me a depiction. For Afghanistan, there were very few cases in the first month, whereas China was running up. China had more than 69,000 cases in the second month of this year, while in the third month the cases had come down to 2886, while India's cases had grown to 1248. Similarly, if we go for Europe, so we can see that first month there were no cases in Spain and there were just 3 cases in Italy, but with time in the second month the cases in Italy rose to 885, Spain to 34, and finally by the end of third month the story was very tough. Italy had more than 1 lakh cases and Spain had more than 85k cases. So we can compare various kind of things based on various visualizations. Another simple visualization could be if you can add a pie chart as well, but it again depends. So let's see how do we post something on the maps. So let's just create another sheet here, another page. So we'll try to point out based on country the total number of cases. So I can increase the size of this map which I have plotted here, and by default we see some circles on top of the countries which we had in our data, and the size of these circles is very much same in all the countries. So once we add data in this, maybe number of cases, you see the size of the circles within the map has changed. So United States has the biggest circle depicting most number of cases, whereas Australia has a very small circle depicting very few cases. So this is how like maps can also work out. You can plot various types of maps and you can plot various types of visualizations. Also there is an option that you can create various R script visuals or Python visuals according to your needs. So this is how basic Power BI report can be created. We have various other options available as well, where we can create different types of measures using DAX queries or DAX functions, and that's how we can create various other different measures and we can plot them in our tables and graphs. We'll look into them in our later tutorials, but for the time being you can see that our report is ready. And like I discussed, there were 3 different views on the left. So this is the report view which we are seeing. In case we want to see the data view, we can just go to data here and you can see our data is here. And if you want to go to the modeling view, you can go to the model. So right now we just imported one table, so we don't have any relationships available. In case we import multiple tables, which we'll see in our next few tutorials, we'll have to create some relationships if required. So we'll come to them later on. So right now the desktop is ready and we'll just try to publish this, or let's just change it to a bar chart for the time being. Yeah, maybe this looks fine. This is a stacked bar chart. So let's just try to publish it. So we can just right click on publish here and it'll ask to save the changes, and we can save the file here under our folders. So let me just name it COVID data and it'll save it as PBIX file. So once it's saved, you have this option to publish it, but for that you need an account in an organization and you'll be able to publish only if they have their public Power BI service enabled. So this is how a basic Power BI desktop report works. For more details and other things, we'll reach out to you. We'll get into that in later tutorials. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.